Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we are taking a look at the new interim report for the upcoming. Thank you for the Dimension Rift, bro. Not for the upcoming Dimension Rift, but similarly to the Dimension Rifts, for the upcoming Doctor Strange huge content patch update thing that we're getting later on in this month. Now, we don't yet have an exact date for it, but more of the content specifics, more of the details have been leaked. So I wanted to go over what those details mean, some inferences we might be able to make or not make based on what's being said, and also to look back at past updates that have happened with a similar theme or with a similar presentation, and kind of see if this one holds the same water in terms of what we can expect and what we're going to get. So let's take a look at what they're talking about here with this update. So for the Doctor Strange content push, we're going to see something called Epic Quests. And this will be a new storyline with varied missions that will be added to the game. Now, there's a very important distinction here. The wording there is storyline, not story mode or story missions. That's important to know because different game modes that have been introduced in the past were originally introduced as just storylines. So for example, judging by this comment here that you're seeing on the screen now, even the Black Order character update, which wasn't actually well, it's kind of a story, but it had its own tab in the mission menu, that was considered a storyline. So the Shadowland stuff is considered a storyline. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. adding chapters 9 and 10 to the game about a year ago is another storyline. So they don't necessarily have to go the route of, Doctor Strange special missions or Doctor Strange world bosses. It could be a new set of normal missions, let's say chapter 12. It could be a new game mode in the arena where you have to go into like an epic quest rift or something. It could honestly be in the Rift menu because that's a dedicated menu now that they have, so they might want to make more use of it. And they may have been using the time with the double world boss rifts to get us accustomed to going to that part of the game, because then it's going to open up the rifts to Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum. The reason why I think that might be possible, although it's pretty far-fetched, is because the wording here, dark dimensions, multiple dimensions, a mystical storyline, all of this is kind of in line with what the dimension rifts already represent for us in the game. This kind of like alternate reality, alternate Earth, parallel 626 or whatever the hell it's called, 616. That Doctor Strange brings to the table. And so it would be, kind of fitting lore-wise or thematically if they were tied in some way to the dimension rifts, at least from the starting menu and the jump-off point for when you play them. So we're going to actually be going into Doctor Strange's house, and then I guess from his house we're going to go into these different portals or into different missions that will do different things. Maybe in one of them it's going to be, Baron Mordo attacking or trying to like do something fucked up. In another one you have to bang Clea. In another one it's Hellstrom and Satana, whatever. There could be lots of different things that they do. But as they say, it's a mystical house. It's linked to a multitude of dimensions. And, it's filled with darkness. Only those with iron wills can survive here. And they're also named Epic Quests. So when I read that, I kind of think, I kind of remember back in the day. So with the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Update, which was about a year ago today, roughly, like maybe a week earlier than today, but whatever. It was like October 2015. That was when they folded the normal and elite missions in the story mode into just missions. So before we had all the missions as either normal mode or elite mode. And elite mode was harder, which is the mode we have now. Normal mode was like a fucking joke, but everybody basically played elite mode. So they might be kind of bringing back elite mode. Maybe there will be like a dual track. So maybe chapter 11 you can do the normal mode, which is the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff, like chapter 9 and 10 or whatever. Or you can do the elite mode chapter 9 and 10 which is the Doctor Strange stuff, and it kind of, that would be their way of illustrating that it's a parallel universe because it's on a parallel track to the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. And that would be an interesting way of doing it as well. That's one possibility that I can imagine. There's a lot of things they could do with it. They could make it world boss style rating where you have to kill the boss a bunch of times to get the bios. Maybe you have to complete the mission and kill like a world boss style enemy at the end in order to collect just enough bios to unlock the character, and then you'll be able to use regular rank up tickets and stuff to upgrade them and level them. I'm not yet sure how they're going to do that. They haven't talked about that yet, but it's very interesting so far based on their descriptions and based on their wording and their very specific wording. They're not using they're not using exact words here. They're kind of being vague intentionally, which I kind of like. It leaves it open for interpretation on our end, and I do like what some of the community feedback has already been. So I'm excited to see what will come of that, and what kind of whose guesses is on the mark there. And then we have another couple of interesting changes here, or additions. Actually, we're getting even more content than we previously thought. We're also getting the Alliance Battle hard mode, not to be confused with the hard mode that you experience every morning. But this is the one where basically when you finish your Alliance Battle, if you finish the normal mode, then you'll be able to take on the Alliance Battle's hard mode. Now, it's unclear whether this is going to be something that you do once per week for your Alliance or every day for your Alliance. If it's every day, it's going to unfortunately add up to a lot more time that we spend doing Alliance Battle, which is not something a lot of people want at the current time, especially with Shadowlands. People feel like they're kind of at the brim here. They're choking on the content, so to speak, because it's so far down. But I'm excited in a sense for it as well, because Alliance Battle is pretty mundane right now. It's just basically, I know the patterns, I know what rotation to put my skills in. I use Shirag here, I use Carnage here, I use Loki or Thanos here, and it's just putting puzzle pieces into place, kind of thing. Jigsaws falling into place. And it's not too hard anymore now that they've introduced broken characters like Elsa and stuff like that. Tier 2, the normal mode is pretty straightforward. It's pretty easy. So I'm guessing they're gonna crank it up with the hard mode. I'm not sure what it's gonna entail, but the only thing that worries me about the Alliance Battle hard mode is the time invested. I don't know how they're gonna do it. If it might just be pure chaos, the hard mode, where you're basically just trying to get off as many points as you can, as many kills as you can before you get absolutely obliterated, and there's like basically no way to win, quote unquote. Just kind of survive for as long as you can. So that means it could be like a mad scramble for like a minute, 90 seconds, something like that. And that would be kind of a welcome change of pace to the kind of grindy back and forth that we're accustomed to now with the regular Alliance Battle mode. I know not the Meteor days, those can be kind of crazy, but I'm talking more about the Frost Beast days, which are the majority of the days in the game. Those are kind of monotonous at this point, especially for players who have been playing for the whole year since they were introduced, myself included. So I'm pretty excited for that as well. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the new Alliance Battle. I personally am itching for a new challenge as well. Shadowlands is very, very fun, but it's only for a couple of days once you beat it, and then it kind of just sits there cleared for like 3-4 days. The rewards are awesome as well. I'm curious to see what new rewards they'll have for the Alliance Battle hard mode, because I don't think they're going to add new content if they don't also put in new rewards. The community gets salty. The people really get up in arms when new content is released, but it doesn't give us new rewards. New challenges without the carrot is really not to people's liking. And then we also have the Dimension Rift changes. They're going to let us auto search for what we want, kind of like we desperately attempt to auto search for our favorite or our most needed, our most crucial ISO set, and then we end up getting something we don't want, and we get upset because we spent too much gold. I don't think it's going to be any different than it is now. It's probably not going to be harder to find the rift that you want. It'll just happen faster. It's kind of tedious right now. You have to click 2 buttons every time just to refresh your search. So it's just a kind of a quality of life thing. As well, guys, this is not in this update, but I just wanted to let you guys know when the double rifts drop, the double world boss rifts, Ebony and Gary Coleman, or Corvus, and Proxima. Those are now going to be just 3 entries per team, not the original 5 entries. And I believe that's Netmarble's way of reducing the rewards while simultaneously decreasing the difficulty. So I think what they're going to do is, I mean, there's one of 2 ways they can do it. They can either lower the first boss's health and defense so that it's back at its original level that you're used to with the regular daily attacks, or they're going to increase the timer that you get from 5 minutes to like 10 minutes or something. Either decreasing the health of the first boss or increasing the timer will be enough to make it pretty easy for most of the player base to beat. And so to combat that, they've reduced the number of total entries from 5 to 3. I don't think they're actually going to nerf the rewards that you get for each individual clear, because that would feel really dirty if you get like 20 black antimatter or like 5 or even 1 chaos nordstone. Just seeing numbers so low like that just pisses people off. So I think they're doing the smart move by just instead reducing the total number of tries that you have, which effectively has the same effect as reducing each try's rewards. So I'm excited to see what that holds, although it is easier. I kind of wished it would be a little bit harder, to be honest. But that's all for now. I am still super excited about this Doctor Strange update. And guys, of course, let me know what your comments are. Let me know what you think of these updates and of the speculation. Let me know what you think the new game mode or storyline is going to be. And of course, guys, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.